Hello, everyone, and welcome to October, the month of spoops, poops, and wallopaloops. This is the month of everyone's favorite scares, and we're going to be talking about some spoopy things this month. Now, we're going to start the month off by talking about an adult animated comedy horror series that has been respected as being one of the best adult animated series and indie animated shows in recent years. And that's cute. But your portal to hell is waiting. And then I'm talking about, of course, Murder Drones, which I rewatched recently for the sake of the video to see if I still think it's a great show. And yeah, it's still obviously still a great show, even though the full season is not out yet. Why did I do this now? Anyways, Murder Drones. I'm gonna turn the volume down so you don't hear it speaking. I'll link the playlist and the channel in the description because yeah, watch this series. Before you watch this video, watch. Actually, I'm not gonna spoil anything. By doing that, I can't show any footage. So, yeah, watch the show. Just watch it after we watch this video. So, Murder Drones is an adult animated dystopian sci-fi comedy horror series about Uzi, a teenage worker drone who is living on a human exoplanet that had a core meltdown, and no humans live on it anymore. And now it's just a place of uh, the worker drones, which were sent to work on mining stuff. But after all the humans were eliminated, uh, they became independent, which got the company that owned the worker drones, J.C. Jensen, in space scared. So they sent a bunch of murder drones, title, to kill all the worker drones. So yeah, that's the basic idea, and the show focuses on Uzi, the protagonist, teaming up with the two of the three murder drones to try and figure out what their purpose is and why they're there in the first place. So, or it's that. Yeah, so that's the basic plot I can get into without getting into any spoilers. I would show footage, but I don't want to show any footage because I don't want you to get spoiled because this show is amazing. Like, oh my god, there's so many like moving parts that come together in the series. It's just magnificent to watch everything unfold. Uh, First off, the animation. It's spectacular. Some of the best independent animation I've seen, and all this is done on computers and on a very low budget. When some computer animated movies, like hold on, I have to show a clip. This is the second episode. No, I don't care. Care. You know I hate ads. This is what the animation looks like. Uh, Look at this. Look at the shadows. Look at the lighting. Look at everything. There are better examples, but like this is the best primary example of how great the animation in this show looks for an independent animated series. It looks better than most animated films coming out nowadays. Like look at Ice Age 6. That abomination was made on a much higher budget, and yet it looks worse than Toy Story. I don't even know how that's possible, but this is amazing animation for a low budget show. So yeah, that's basically the basic animation. And what about the story? I like the story. Uh, it keeps developing more as it goes on, which for a season that's going to be 8 episodes long, we're already 6 through 6. They have a lot to pack in this first season, and they're doing a really good job at it. They keep adding new details that add to the story of the murder drones that just make it more interesting and captivating to watch. And yeah, of course, that's the most I can go into the story without talking about all the spoilers, all the twists that happen. So I'm just gonna talk about the characters now. So Uzi, she's a very likable protagonist. She's basically like an emo girl, teenage worker drone, who teams up with the murder drones. And speaking of the murder drones, N. N is just N. And best character in the whole show. Like, he's N. He's the most lovable character in anything ever. He's incredibly likable, and it's just a blast to watch every episode he's in. And then there's V, who is a lot more psychopathic than N, but is still uh, eventually gets more noble and less murderous as the series goes on. Then there's the villains. J, who is the third murder drone, who doesn't befriend Uzi, and she eventually becomes a villain. And then there's other characters that I cannot mention because it will spoil the show. And I do not want that to happen. Watch this show right now. So, yeah, I wish I could go into more detail about what everything is, but I don't want you to get spoiled about anything that happens in this. Not about the characters' backstories, not about characters that are introduced, not about other plot details that are important. I'm just getting the main stuff out of the way. Speaking of the comedy, this is a very funny show. There's a lot of witty, dark comedy that I think really fits the tone of the show, which is very dark and not depressing, dark and moody, and is meant to replicate the style of, goth person. Just very dark shadows, always taking place at night, never brightness, which is very contrastful to the other show that Glitch is making, The Amazing Digital Circus, which is also an adult animated show. Yeah, adult animation is very popular in Glitch. That show is a lot more colorful, but it's still a very dark show. I mean, it says a psychological dark comedy in the description. I mean, you can't really go around the description, can you? So, yeah, the comedy is very good in this. There's a lot of hits. There's not that many misses. Actually, there's not that many misses at all. But I feel like this show kind of relies a bit too on, fast-paced editing. How do I describe it? Like, close-up shots that keep whisking at all the time. That don't really... They get old pretty quick, but that's my biggest criticism with the show so far, because episode 7 and 8 still haven't come out yet. But yeah, I highly recommend you watch this. I'm linking the playlist in the description. I'm also linking Glitch's channel because they've also made other shows like Meta Runner and Sons of Paradise, and they're making a new show, The Amazing Digital Circus, which I love murder drones, but I feel like that is going to be my favorite of the Glitch shows because it's dark comedy, and I'm a dark comedy. If you don't know, I'm a massive fan of dark comedy. I mean, look at what's in the background of my decorations. That's definitely not a body. I'm winking if you can't see my face, but I'm winking. Losh. I'm very much winking. So yeah, Murder Drones. This is my quick review of the series. I hope you enjoyed it, because I don't want to get the show spoiled for you. And it looks like I've done the first review, and the month of Spoopy has just begun. Now, if you excuse me, the smell of this body is starting to really rot in the... Wait, I didn't mean... No!